She-Hulk, big part of Marvel Phase 4. Another Disney Plus show, which is underperforming, by the way. Barely competing with Hawkeye. It's one of the worst rated shows for the Disney Plus Marvel stuff. In fact, it's so embarrassing that they had to spin the show as a success because it outperformed Miss Marvel, which didn't even have 1 million people watching it. These characters just aren't resonating very well with consumers. Even though She-Hulk is a loved character, this version of her, in my opinion, is pretty weak. One thing that Marvel used to have was some pretty good sales with their toys and their merchandise, and that's kind of changed with Phase 4. A lot of these characters that they're pushing just aren't selling. And Cosmic Book News has a great article here going over some of the stuff in the merchandise area that's not selling. So I want to highlight this to show you just how poorly Marvel merchandise is moving right now. And they make a pretty compelling argument here on why Disney's trying to hide it. So listen to this. So this is them going over the revenue statement. And I didn't know this until they showed this, but consumer products have been rolled into the area of their quarterly reports that have the park experiences. Park and experiences. So they're masking their bad selling products with their Marvel stuff. Actually, it looks like all of it, consumer products as a whole. This says to me a lot of the stuff is Disney's characters and all of their products as a whole aren't doing that well. Well, we can talk about Marvel as a whole when we get to this part of the article, because I also want to go over this insider that talks specifically about the Marvel merchandise. You can say the same for the Star Wars products aren't selling that well either. Those are doing even worse. We saw that recently with that crowdfunder for the Reva or whatever her name is from the Obi-Wan show. Her lightsaber failed to get funded, which was a joke. That's embarrassing. Disney consumer products revenue stagnant. What is now happening with Marvel is much like what happened with Disney Star Wars. Following my reporting of the decline of Star Wars merchandise every year since the release of The Last Jedi, Disney actually changed how it reports merchandise in its quarterly investor reports, as the company now combines the consumer products division with its parks division. What this does is hides the losses from merchandise and makes it appear as if both divisions are successful, when what is really going on is that the success of the parks division offsets the low revenue of the consumer products division. And that's true. It makes it look like everything is fine. They're just hiding it. But the money in the parks, that's what's bringing in the money for them. But they want to hide the fact that the interest in their products outside of the parks is kind of declining. The parks are going to make money for a long time because it's something to do. And they keep jacking the prices up as well, which is going to bring in more money. People are going to get tired of that eventually. For example, in Disney's July 2022 investor report, pictured below, and that's this graph right here. If you want to take a look at it, pause the screen. For example, in Disney's July 2022 investor report, it is reported that Parks and Experiences and Consumer Products Division revenue is up 70% from last year, but taking a look at the actual numbers reveals Parks and Experiences is up 95%, while Consumer Products really saw no gain at only 2%. So again, we see the big success of the Parks and Experiences causes Parks and Experiences and Consumer Products to look like a big success, but in reality, merchandise is failing or flat. What is alarming is that Disney Investor Reports reveals everything is up from last year because of the coup, but not its Consumer Products division, which obviously tells us that no one is running to the stores to buy any of the new Disney merch, which includes Marvel and Star Wars. And I agree 100% with that. 100% with that. Now, I want to go into this. So this is insider blows the door off Marvel merchandise like this. I mean, I've shown tons of pictures and videos of these characters in stores like Shang-Chi and the Eternals, like big clearance tags on them. They just sit there and rot on shelves because they don't want Miss Marvel. They want Spider-Man. They want Iron Man. These toys are pushed towards little boys. Those are who will buy these toys, and they don't want these characters. They want 30 different versions of Spider-Man or Captain America or Iron Man, and it's right here in this part. Marvel merchandise down 50%. Regarding Marvel merchandise, the insider reveals Marvel is down 50% in the number of units sold and down 30% in dollars, and the Eternals are the worst performing. The new stuff is failing to generate the level 2 and level 3 interest that brings in big branded dollars at retail. Spider-Man, Cap, and Iron Man are holding everything together at this point. Eternals was the worst across the board, but here's the general statement. Female heroes do not sell merchandise. I mean, is it really that bad to say that, to be honest? Because you think about, like, when you were a kid, I know that there are women that watch this channel, but the majority of the demographic is male. Most of them didn't buy a lot of female figures. It's just the way it is. And now most of these Phase 4 characters are all women. It does make you wonder, like, how the future of Marvel is going to hold up. Maybe it'll still be successful. I don't know. Maybe we're all wrong, and that could be the case. But as of right now, these new characters aren't selling. Nobody wants this merchandise. The top sellers and the top earners are still Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man. Probably a little bit Thor and Hulk. That was what was stated up here in this insider report from a report that the Park Place put out. And that insider revealed only Spider-Man merchandise is really selling. Like, that's the big thing. And that's not a shocker to anybody. Spider-Man merchandise has always been a big seller because people love Spider-Man. Captain America and Iron Man are still big sellers, but none of the Phase 4 stuff from Kevin Feige is selling. And the funny thing is, Disney and Marvel mandate what sells. So all these new characters that nobody wants, they're telling all of these retail stores that they have to sell this. And that just has all this shit selling as a selling, or not selling, but sitting there on shelves and not selling and like rotting away, which they have to then discount. But if they want to buy the Spider-Man shit, they probably have to buy the other stuff. This is funny too. Falcon as Falcon sells better than Falcon as Captain America. I'll never understand this. Like, everyone liked Falcon, and understand, they want to try and change the mantle and stuff, but like, it's so hard to get branding and make something new and push it. And that was a character. He's actually been around for a long time, but he was new to the MCU, and it worked, and people liked the character, and you're just like throwing that branding away. It's so tough to build up a brand and to just throw that off. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. The toys not doing so well. And that's what really drives things. That's what drives things. And it's funny to me to see a lot of this stuff fall flat for Marvel, but yet they keep pushing it. I wonder why that is. Tell me why that is in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel, usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.